WWE, wow, this is such a cool project. Wines That Rock has partnered with WWE to introduce the Undertaker Cabernet and also the Ultimate Warrior Zinfandel. Such an interesting project, and these bottles look amazing. And we're going to talk about the bottles, but also, of course, about the wine with none other than Dana Warrior. Thank you so much, Dana. I first have to ask, how did you get involved in this project?
Well, I am so happy to be with you. You are always just such an incredibly bright force out there and talking and writing, so I always enjoy everything that you do. And I was lucky enough to be involved with WWE, the partnership that they developed with Wines That Rock. They contacted me and asked if this was something that we would be interested in putting Ultimate Warrior as a part of, and I said, of course. It's a beautiful project, and they always really do make everything come to life for a superstar, and I feel like for his legacy, I want to make sure that I continue to do that. So when WWE brought me in, I said, that's ultimate.
What are your thoughts of the bottle? How much, did you have any input in how the bottle looked, or what was the process there?
Really, they have done such a good job of creating this, really this staple of Ultimate Warrior's mask that people are able to recognize as being his insignia. And then I was really excited because they used pink for the hand wax dip on the top, so it looks absolutely beautiful. And I saw the ideation of it, and I told them, I love it, go with it. So they're really wonderful to include me, but I feel as though they have a finger on the pulse of what it is to let Ultimate Warrior live on.
And it's also interesting that you have two iconic WWE superstars, legends in The Undertaker and Ultimate Warrior, part of this process. These bottles look amazing. The wine itself is incredible, but the bottles themselves, it's a nice collector's item too. What are your thoughts of, first, the wine, and then also as it being a collectible item for fans and people?
Yeah, it's funny because when I think about the wine, when I start to talk about it, I feel like you should cue the music, and it should be like, just everything starts to kind of vibrate and run into the ring, because I feel as though the Ultimate wine really does boast notes that are so bright, they might really honestly be called neon. The winemakers truly did capture Warrior's in-ring essence with a taste of nostalgia and fun. And I think at this time of our lives, we're all desperately craving something that's bright and fun and exciting. They really did create color play for your palate. And like you said, the bottle is so beautiful. Even if you didn't want to drink this incredible wine, it's something that you would love to have on your wet bar, or just as a keepsake in your house. And we also have the Undertaker's bottle of wine, and it's equally impressive and beautiful and has the essence of Undertaker. So I was very excited that they paired the two, and we were able to kind of have that era represented in such a magnificent way.
Well, each of these keepsake wines are available online at WWEWines.com, and they could be purchased separately or together. I suggest together because it's such a cool looking, both bottles just look great. And Dana, what are your thoughts too, because obviously Dana Warrior, talk about the Ultimate Warrior, what are your thoughts about the Undertaker as well?
The Undertaker is honestly just, he's a force in our home. If you ask my children who they love most, other than their father, the Undertaker is the mantle. He is just an incredible presence in our business, and both in and out of the ring. So to have a wine that captures the essence of his character is phenomenal, but also it's just a real, it's just a nod to everything that he's accomplished and done and contributed and been, on the Mount Rushmore, definitely you have him as a face for WWE superstars.
And also a nod to the Ultimate Warrior. And Dana, what can you tell us about Warrior and his legacy and what he has left fans and people around the world?
Well, I will selfishly say what he left to me are the fans and the incredible WWE universe who still and will always believe. For me, the fans are everything. So when we were not in arenas and you couldn't see the lifeblood of our business with the fans cheering, I missed them all. And to watch them back in arenas and live events, it's so incredibly exciting. Those fans, you know, have embraced other superstars, and that's so fun for me to watch as well. But then they always circle back and tell me what Warrior meant to them. And I just have to say, like, that lives on. That means something to my daughters. That means something to me. In fact, it means everything to me.
How do you feel too, Dana, when fans would get so excited when they would just hear that powerful, blaring entrance music when Warrior would come out? And I'm just curious, how did that make you feel? Did you feel that same energy and excitement anytime you heard that entrance music?
I mean, if you don't have a pulse, if you don't feel excited when you hear that entrance music, right? It's so inspiring. It really does fire you up, and it made me smile when you were asking the question, because there's something in that music that just like a drum beat to a higher purpose, and really living your best life and making the best choices, and that indomitable spirit that my husband embodied inside the ring, that never say die, always believe, you know, shake the ropes and come what may, never lie down. All of that it's more than just a character. That's a way of life. And I think that the reason that his Legion of Warriors have continued to love him the way they have is because that resonates, whether you're a little boy watching and wanting to see if he's going to be, you know, the champion, or as you get older and you're the dad watching your little boy wanting to be that champion to your child. There's a lot of really positive moments in the entire arc of his career that say that if you can never give up, and you must continue on no matter what, feel the power and always believe. And I've definitely laced up my fringy boots, as it were, to make sure that I led my daughters into their future after we lost him. Things transition, but they never leave us if we hold them in our heart and we take the lessons that they so graciously gave us.
Dana, are you a wine aficionado?
I will not call myself a wine aficionado. I have so much left to learn. I will say I know what I like, and I know when something has a good flavor and smooth, you know. Both of these that I've been lucky enough to have in my home are both incredibly tasty, delicious. So maybe I'm a novice, always more to learn, but I will say they are absolutely fantastic. And when served to my guests, everyone had rave reviews.
And a couple more questions and we'll wrap this up. And thank you so much again. It's interesting too to me.
Pleasure.
Oh, thank you. Wines That Rock, also with rock music themes. And I'm just curious if you were a rock music fan. I know they've been involved in reading about it with the Police, the Grateful Dead, Pink Floyd, Rolling Stones, and now with WWE. I just thought, what are your thoughts of them being involved with rock music, and are you a fan of that music?
I am a fan of that music, and it's interesting because in, I think, junior high, when I got my it was an album at the time, you know, and Police were like a serious anthem during that entire, and then Pink Floyd was my entire high school, you know, the background music of it. So it's really exciting to be able to have these iconic rock bands and have Ultimate Warrior and WWE be able to, you know, be alongside it. And it makes sense to me. I feel like rock and roll music and the sports entertainment, they go hand in hand. I feel like many of us have an affinity for both, you know, genres, and it's an honor to be next to these incredible rock bands. It truly is.
The Rock and Wrestling Connection. There it is. Dana Warrior. This is just amazing. These bottles are just amazing. The wine itself is amazing. And lastly, I'm just curious, what are you up to these days? What are you and your family doing these days?
Well, I mean, wild as it is, both of my little chicks have flown the coop. I can't believe it. The Warrior women are both off at college. My older daughter is a junior now, Indiana, and then my younger baby, she left me this fall, and she is a freshman at my alma mater, which is absolutely crazy because I moved her into the dorm I lived in Arizona State. That was the craziest thing, but I feel so much pride for my daughters. They have been the driving force of anything that I've done since we lost their dad, and I wanted so much to get them to this point, and just kind of have a little sigh of relief. Yes, they're going to have growing pains, and they're going to be doing, living these lives where they're actual adults, but I felt really, really good getting them to that spot where they could be autonomous and spread their wings and paint their face and make their own run to whatever ring it is that they choose. They're incredible young women, and I'm just here to tell you that I know I'm proud, and I know for sure that their dad would be.
Oh, well, Dana, that's just great and so amazing, and what a great job both of you have done with them and all. And if I might follow up and ask, and this is the last question, are there interests? What interests do they have? Do you know what career paths or what degrees they're pursuing?
Well, it's funny because my husband would always say never about getting to the wrestling ring, and I know that that's what every fan wants to know when when Maddie that has the interest in boxing that she does, and my other daughter is like this beautiful ballerina. With what happened with COVID, Indy's dreams of becoming a professional ballerina, she had signed her first contract and she was going down that road. With everything that happened with the pandemic, she had to shift gears, and now she is going to school to be a special education teacher, work with children with learning differences, and I'm really incredibly proud of her for that. She and I both have dyslexia, and so it's been something really, I'm inspired by her ability to shift gears. Madigan she's very athletic and continues her involvement in the gym. She is studying communications, but that all of that changes, and I want them to know that their paths are wide open, and never say never to being Warrior women within the ring, but for right now, I'm going to have them tackle university.
Well, that is wonderful, and thank you again so much, Dana Warrior. And hey, Wines That Rock, WWE, what a great partnership. Hey, for WWE Extreme Rules on Sunday, September 26th, why not get some, have some, whether you're drinking it or have it for a collection, nice showpiece. That would be awesome. And for any information, you could go to WWEWines.com. Thank you again, Dana.
Thank you. Cheers to everybody. Thanks for having me.